I followed my dreams and opened an antique store to have adventures and spend time as a family. Sometimes you have to climb a mountain and open some new doors to find the treasures inside. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc. Well, hi everyone, and welcome to round 3 at the old house. And this week's adventure, we are geared up. I've got a couple of helpers coming out to give me a hand. This time my mother-in-law is coming out. I don't think you've ever seen her on video before, but she's a trooper. She's come to lend a hand cleaning up the house. And we are going to try and clear out some of the main floor rooms completely. Also remove some of the carpeting and generally just try and clean this place up a bit so I have some places to process some of the items from upstairs. So last week we did find some pretty good treasure, found some really cool things, a lot of pottery. I don't know if I'm going to find much more of that. I really looked for that last time and I don't think there's much left in there. Big bonus was my father-in-law and I finding a big wad of cash. Those bills were about 15, 20 years old, but in pristine condition. That said, they aren't really that collectible, so we ended up just spending it on our hotel and paying the guys to come and help me out. So definitely was a great time. So I'm still recovering. I'm a little bit stuffed up from last week, but I'm not coughing. I think my body is just about recovered from the last adventure, just to throw myself back in it. And we have had horrible weather on the way out here. I say we, I mean I'm taking you guys on the journey with me. There's nobody else in my car with me, but we've had freezing rain, snow, rainstorm. It's hovering around freezing, so these road conditions can turn treacherous any minute. So I'm hoping I'll get there in the next 30 minutes and I won't have to worry about driving for a couple days here. But we're going to take it easy. I'm not going to run out of gas. You guys give me a hard time about that, but I'm not too proud to admit when I make a mistake. We've all had issues in our lives or mistakes we've made, and you know, hey, that happens. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. So stay tuned, watch as we go through the house and start to renovate on episode 3. And I do have to be careful on the roads today because we have a winter rainstorm, which means it's going to be turning into ice very quickly as the temperature drops back down to minus 30 in the next couple of days. So hopefully I'll get there in one piece and safe and sound. I know in the city, if a person's having a hard time, the wife might leave the husband a Dear John letter. I wonder if in the country they would leave them a John Deere letter. It's kind of the same thing, you know, because it's country related. But yeah, we're just about there, just about pulling into town, and yeah, we're going to check on the house. And I know in the last video I kind of joked that my wife hadn't killed me for buying this house. The truth is that she's okay with this venture. She's very supportive of the business overall. I think it's just hard having me away. This is a 3-hour trip from our town, and I've missed the last couple weekends with the kids. So, you know, she just wants to be home. So I understand and recognize that. But no, my wife is very supportive with this whole adventure. So, Melissa, if you're watching, I love you. Thank you for letting me come out this way, and for letting me, her mother-in-law and her family and friends to come help me out here too. So with luck, it'll be clean enough that she can come out here soon, and the kids can too. So that's the mission this week, get the house cleaned up. Okay, so I'm getting myself geared up, got the GoPro on, got the gloves, gonna put my mask on once I get inside. So let's go and suss out what the situation is gonna be today. It's hard to believe that just 1 week ago today, this house was packed to the ceiling, so much so that you couldn't even walk. Not a single path. We've made some really great progress over the last week, and within just a few days, we were able to see the floor. So let's check in and see how it looks today. How bad it is. I actually have to use a rake inside here just to clean the carpet off. So we're going to start by raking some of the mess here. Some of these are actually original drawings that she did, so I'm going to try and save those. Kind of interesting as we go through. The goal today is to try and get this room completely cleared out so we can get the carpet removed. Once the carpet is out, we're gonna have less allergens and less dust in the house, which means it's good news for me. So I've got to rake up some of the trash, get some of the bigger things moved out, and then we'll have room to work. So that's what the plan is, and that's what I'm gonna keep doing. I'm curious to know if this radio actually works. Get some, yeah, that's an extension cord. See if I can find out where this thing's plugged in. It's an old stereo cabinet. And in somewhat decent condition, actually. See if it works. Oh, okay. Oh. You can actually see the floor in this room now too. I'm just emptying off these shelves. Well, on the bookshelf, yes. 77. These look like records.
Records?
Yeah, they're 78s. Oh well, Gene Autry, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'll keep these aside to go through after.
Did you look through here?
No, I didn't yet.
I don't know what that is. It was just in one of these. Put it on the floor anyway.
Get these out. Try and get this bookcase out of here. It's a lot of National Geographic.
Do you saving them?
Well, we can donate them, but I mean,
They don't look that old.
You want all those books in the,
yeah, those ones there can all go. The bookcase can go to donation. I think it's usable.
Yeah.
It's like
Anyway,
really old wrapping paper.
usually you throw wrapping paper out.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it's just, if you're gonna have mice, it's in the paper.
yeah, that's true. Like a journal. What I'll do maybe is I'll pile them on the chair so you guys don't have to bend over so much. Well, I found something wrapped up. Oh, I think I might have found. Oh, it's broken. It's a broken vase. That's too bad. Do not look yet.
Crap.
Oh, hang on, let's see.
So she sold it.
No, it's a Leisure Lady original.
You want it?
Yeah, well, it's vintage for sure. Well, I finally have a path into this room. I'm going through right now and figuring out what can go to charity, what I'm going to keep. Finally have some room to sort, so I got to start sorting all this into garbage and into good stuff. It's like a hand-woven carpet. Yeah.
do you want this Timex thingamajig?
Yeah, I'll keep that. I'll take it to the stop.
Okay.
It looks like more pottery hidden inside a milk container. Be a little bit more here too. Oh, I found some more pottery. We're getting down to some old clothing and fabrics here.
Fabric is to donate.
That's to donate, yeah. fur coat. Look, piano. Not even one chocolate left. It's like a old school Puma jacket. Found a log on the floor. It's actually kind of a cute carving of a couple beavers eating away at it there. It's kind of nice. I'll put that in the keep pile. Well, as the day goes on, I have to put some effort into the front room and really get the boxes cleared out of the way so we can start to think about removing the flooring. If I'm going to do that, I have to go through every single box in every newspaper to make sure I'm not missing hidden cash or gems, because we've found a few and you don't want to throw out a bag of money because that would really stink. So taking my time and going through these boxes, and so far haven't turned up any gold, but we are finding more of the floor, and that is a rare commodity in itself. I have never seen so many newspapers in my entire life, and I would never want to wish this upon anyone. So far, we have thrown out about 5 tons of garbage out of this house. It's been 5 giant trailers, and the dump has given me the bill, and yes, 5 tons of trash out of this house, mostly in newspaper and magazine. So, have I ever wanted social media to take over for newspaper print? Yes, I think I do. If you're in the newspaper business, I'm sorry, but this is crazy. Little toy truck here. Looks to be pretty good. National Geographics. 71. What is this? Maybe one of her kids did that. I don't think this is hers. Probably student work. Finally reached the piano. It works.
That trailer's just about as full as it can get.
Oh, we can get a tiny bit fuller than that.
Yeah. I didn't like it.
That's all garbage there, yeah.
Well, I can get a tarp set him. Tam said he had a tarp.
Yeah, the guy comes with the tarp. Elephant lamp.
Now there's a broken chair down there.
Oh, yeah, it can be trash. I saw it down there. That white one, right? Kind of neat. Looks like there's a matching pair. I saw a book from her going to an exhibit in Africa, so perhaps these came back from there. Progress report. Have uncovered the piano, which you can kind of see there. This room is basically down to stuff that might be reusable or resellable, a lot of vintage clothing, a lot of things that I could probably reuse, and a bunch more for pottery. So I can't really do too much more in here until we get the other room cleaned out and we can start sorting. So we're gonna move on to get some garbage out from the other spaces, get the trailer hopefully picked up so we can do another load of trash for tomorrow. So good progress. Lots to go still though, but I can see parts of the floor and did find some other cool stuff, so we're gonna keep plugging away. So some good progress. Got the front porch cleared out of most of the garbage that was in here. Turn around and show the other side very slowly. And yeah, we've got floor. And for some reason there's also heater vents in here, so they must have had this heated at one time. Maybe it was a little studio. There is some pottery, some artwork in here. So we're gonna save these and go through them later on. And the living room is looking pretty good. There's the old stereo. We tried it, didn't work, just static. So tomorrow this carpet's gonna come up. We'll see what's underneath. This is our stuff that we figure we can give to charity. Another pretty good pile so far. That's just after basically half a day. And the dump, what they do is they separate a lot of the metals and recyclables when they get it there. So for those of you wondering at home, they do separate this stuff when we get it there. That's how some of our dumps work here. So the metal will go in one pile and papers and stuff in another. But this is going tomorrow, another full load. It's just about time to call it a night. What's this? Oh. Okay. Let's see if it's inside. And it is. We've got a Crosman air pistol. That's pretty cool. Looks to be all there. Good. That's a good score. Well, good morning. It is the second day of the second trip out here, and we got a fair bit done. I went back last night and got some more bags thrown out. I'm taking my good old allergy medicine here in advance before I go out because I'm expecting they're going to act up as we start to kick up more dust removing the carpets, and that is the goal this morning. Hans, aka Tree Guy, who is Scandinavian, is going to be taking out the carpets in the downstairs, and we're going to work through the main floor. So lots going on today. Filled up an entire dumpster last night and filled up another truck full of garbage, and yeah, it's just going really well. So I'm going to head off to the restaurant, meet up with my mother-in-law, and we're going to head back to the house and get cracking. So my wife's mom, Marlene, has come up to help me today. Thank you, Marlene. And you helped us out yesterday a lot too. So you think we're gonna find any treasure today?
Yes, we're gonna find a secret room.
Ooh, okay, I'm up for that. All right, let's hit the road.
Let's go.
Okay, so we were clearing a bunch of the clutter out yesterday from down in the basement, and with all the stuff gone, we found out there's a kind of a secret hole in the wall down here that we didn't see before. Oh, there's a old bicycle. It's like a chopper bike. Those are actually kind of cool. It's got the long, there's all kinds of stuff in here. I don't have any idea how they got in there other than this tiny hole, but it's completely full. It looks like old pedal cars. I think there's a pedal car over there in the corner. There's a bunch of, it looks like those are lamps. They used to own a gas station. I think those are lights off the gas station back there. Chimney stacks. the old screen door off the house. Yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff in here. If when I'm feeling braver later, I'll come back in here and pull some of the stuff out. Surprises around every corner. Oh, there's even a light bulb. And actually, hang on. There's rafters up there. And there's stuff in the rafters too.
Has it got a ceiling?
Doesn't really have a ceiling as opposed to just some rafters. But yeah, there's the roof because it's the floor from upstairs. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Oh, there's another secret little hatch here. Crocs. Ugh, spiders. Big Crocs. Full of cement. There's lots of stuff under there. I have to search that another time. Well, the laundry room is just about empty. Oh, it's full of laundry. Gross. 1960s laundry. Here's my reward for today. A sealed bottle of brandy. Like I said, every day you seem to get another little reward for keep on going. Yeah, I just took the mattress off. I just took the mattress off and there's an envelope there, but I can't. Would you mind opening it? Just don't show the other side because it's got her name on it. But
Oh, okay.
they always say to check under the mattress.
Looks like checks.
Just checks. Oh, I was hoping it was a lot of cash.
Oh, I could write you a check.
Yeah.
So,
Is there anything else in there?
no, it's her checks. It's from the bank.
Okay. Did find a box of jewelry under there though. And I don't think it's all costume because some of it is, some of the jewelry in here is from Burke's. And Burke's is a pretty high-end manufacturer of jewelry. So, who knows, maybe there's some other stuff hidden in there. We'll set that aside and look through it later. Broken dog. Couple pens. Sometimes pens can be collectible, so I'll probably hang on to those. It's like a really old picture of a hot rod. Be 40s or 50s, that is. Cool. We are on the second day of our adventure this weekend, and as you can see behind me, lots of progress. We're getting some stuff hauled out of the basement, we're getting things cleaned up, but the main floor here is getting to a point where I can start processing and staging and going through some of the items that we found that might be a little bit better. So we're going to continue to fill the dumpster up, and then next time I come back, it'll be mainly to look for treasure, get more stuff donated to charity, and then you can really start thinking about trying to get this place in peace and start getting it all put back together. So looking good so far. I'm going to mask back up as I'm going back into the dusty area of the house, but you can see it's not looking too bad. So let's continue upstairs and keep working away. Just kind of getting down to clothes up here. It's an old A&W smock. I actually have somebody who'll buy that off me. It needs to be cleaned, but it's a good thing. Sort of stretch pants. Paris Star. I can just imagine the salesman. Why, yes, all the young ladies in Paris are wearing Paris Star pants. And she bought them. Somehow I don't think these are the least bit Parisian. Shame they're so dirty now. I don't know if I can donate these, even though they're new. They're pretty dusty. All right, so you know how you guys always hear me say that I'm looking for oil cans or oil and gas related stuff because it sells really well. Well, I was going through this box and I thought it was a dish at first, but it's actually an advertising clock. It is porcelain made like a plate, but it's CC Snowden, which is Sliptivity oil. This would date to probably the 1920s or 30s. This clock to the right collector might be worth upward from $700 to $1,000. So that is a fantastic find for someone who collects advertising or oil and gas memorabilia. It's a very early and rare piece. So that made going through this one room worth it just right there. And I've been working on sweeping this room out. You can really start to get a sense of the age of the house from this particular room. None of the trim has been painted. It's older wallpaper. And you can see the old door. They kind of messily painted around it. It's kind of a shame. It'd be nice to get that back to the original finish. The wood's really nice. The old brass door handles. So this room is pretty well intact, and I'm cleaning it out so that I can get the clothes from the other room in here, and we can rip the old floor out of there and get it back to this nice hardwood again. So just a little bit more tidying to do, and I can start transferring stuff over into the space. So this bedroom is becoming kind of a storage while I clear out the room behind me, which is right there. So I'm working on cleaning this room out completely. We're going to try and get this old lino out so we can get it back down to the hardwood. My mother-in-law, Marlene, has tunneled a little way there. And we've discovered that this fella had not only free time, but a complete can of yellowy orange construction paint to use, because they seem to have painted everything, including the furniture, in the same color paint. And don't they say certain colors are calming and not? I'm pretty sure this is one that would make you feel a little bit more stressed out. So, yeah. I don't know. Not my choice. It's looking good in here, though.
And then some slackers can get us fall down the stairs and say that they're good.
That's garbage. This is for charity.
I can see out of
Let's have a look-see.
Vernier said it's,
Well, they're 70s or 80s. They're men's.
they're quite funny construction. One eye's up and one eye.
In the bedroom. Nothing. It's a good hard shell case. That's got to be 1970s for sure. The years of polyester. Oh, well, I found some money.
You found some more money?
I found a bunch of loonies.
What?
Maybe $100 worth. Trailer's back and empty. Charity pile's getting pretty big. Let's see what's going on. Jugs. Oh, is that the kiln? Or a kiln, maybe? Let me crawl in here. Oh yeah, that looks like a little kiln. Cool. Good, we're getting some junk out of here. There's a roof rack I want to hang on to. Could use this upstairs, taking that bed apart, the equalizer. This whole addition's probably gonna have to come down. It's not doing any good here. But that'll be another adventure, another day. Already I can start to envision the work that has to be done to start converting this house back into a home. With the clutter gone, the carpets out, you can really start to feel what you have to do to convert it and do the renovations. So we'll start thinking about that in a future video in terms of how we're going to redo the main floor and do the flooring. But for now, it's still all about emptying and doing a little bit of repair. So we are going to move over and transition into getting some of these other rooms cleared out and moved over and getting the flooring taken off and maybe even start doing a little bit of renovation work. So we're going to work on it and hopefully make some progress before the end of the weekend. We've only got a half day left before we have to head home. So the first room just about cleared out. Hans is going to start peeling the floor off. Let's see what's underneath.
Cut that way.
See how she looks.
Slide this one.
You want to keep this?
Nope.
It's a letter holder.
No, it's a record holder.
Did you want it?
No.
Okay. Did you want to look at the other records? Do you want any of this stuff?
Let's see here. The ones that flip, yes.
All right. Well,
You want me to go through?
Well, you can if you want, because the bulky stuff anyway. We can, if it's going to sell, you have no sense hauling it into your room. You're filling your room.
Yeah, people like the ones like this. People like the kind of flip down in halves.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'll go through this stuff.
But you can just put it into the empty drawer. The drawer should bring it.
Okay.
No, just
And I have to hand it to Marlene. She worked in this room non-stop for an entire day until the clutter started to just magically disappear, and eventually we were left with a nice empty room to work in, and the floors weren't that bad. Back at the hotel, feeling a little bit tired and worn out after a hard day at work. I'm gonna let my face settle down. I've got a red bump on my nose from the mask, but I did find $104 in Canadian currency in $1 coin. And I'm gonna go see if I can apply that towards my hotel room. They're gonna look at me like I'm crazy, but when you own a business, everybody likes having change, right? I hope. So if you guys are watching from the motel later on, I'm sorry, but this is gonna come in handy to pay the hotel room tonight. So we decided the easiest thing to do with this room that was tied off here, since we couldn't open it all the way, was just squeeze inside and pop the door off. So that's what we did. So now I can actually start working and clearing some of this room out into the next. Oh, that's just what you want to see. A box of clown stuff. Well, it looks like the clowns have left the building. Mostly just patterns. Not much for clowns. See how Hans is doing. Looks like slow going in here, hey?
Oh, she's slow, alright.
Yeah.
She's glued down pretty good.
Well, good thing we got a bearded Danishman in here working on it. Looking good, though. Oh, looks like a brand new Coleman lantern in the box. That's a keeper. That's right there. That's a good one. People like the Coleman. Oh, somebody else got this far. This one's emptied. Just found this. And it's full. Stuff. Old $1 bill. 1954. Well, looks like a little bit of silver. Silver $50. Silver coins, silver dollars. for now. Bring that downstairs. Oh, looks like a nice little toy truck, Gamma. Working shifter and steering. It's missing part of it, but that's a pretty elaborate piece. Maybe I'll find the rest of it in one of the other boxes. That's all garbage.
This box here.
Yeah, all those books can go. Oh.
Oh, there's your horn.
Yeah. It's an old one. I got a nice little Coleman lantern here too.
It's all garbage here.
That's garbage there, yeah. Finding a few treasures.
Right on.
Might be a little tired.
Oh, that's probably handy.
Well, that's kind of handy. That come in the house.
Yeah.
I got no problem.
All right, I am back at the shop and we have some unpacking to do. I brought back a few things this trip. Really, the mission this last weekend was to try and get as much of the house emptied as possible, but it's tough not bringing some of the stuff back. I'm gonna make a bigger venture out there, and with a bigger truck, I have to bring back all the old vintage clothes. Still don't know what I'm gonna do with all that, but we did have a few surprises in the house and did find some cool things. So let me show you some of the items which we've brought back on this go around. And when I can, I'll give you kind of a rough idea about what we've discovered in terms of value. So let's have a look. So some items are just going to be good sellers for the shop. This is an antique shaving stand. That's where you put your brush and your cup so you could lather it up, and there's your mirror to shave in. It is a silvered mirror, so a little bit on the older side, and probably nickel plated. It will clean up, it's just really dusty right now. But shaving stuff is hot. People do buy it and are shaving with vintage and antique razors all the time. So that will be an item that will be fairly easy to sell. Probably somewhere around $100. So, you know, it's $100 that was sitting there that we brought back, so good piece. Did also find, you know, no surprise, some more pottery that was in the house. This is still yet to be determined what the true value is, but there was a couple of the nice pieces that we were able to draw out of the house. So to be determined on these guys, but potentially very good. Some fossilized wood, or petrified wood, I should say. That's just, you know, it's not super expensive, but it's kind of neat. Did find some stone. Now, I don't know if that is fool's gold or if that's veins of actual gold. Either way, you know, we'll have to get that checked, because that could be, you know, there's a reason why they kept it. So perhaps it's real gold. We'll get that checked over. Some old tins, Christie's Zephyr cream soda. It's got to be probably turn of the century or to 20, somewhere around there. In the basement, one of the rooms, we found a World War I era Austrian flask. So this might have been World War I issue. It is military green, but finding something from the other side, the German Austrian side, is kind of unusual, especially here in Canada. Now, it's not going to hold much liquid with that big hole in it, but it is an original piece and still have some value, maybe $40, $50 to someone. It would have been probably worth $150 or more if it was in really good shape, but it's just a novelty piece, but still better condition than what you found if you had dug it up in a battlefield or something. So it is still, you know, all there. Again, more pottery. A little Gamma motorcycle with a tin monkey on it. This is a wind-up piece. Have not tested it to see if it works yet. It is missing the handlebars. That was a good find, and thanks to Charlie for finding that in a box that I almost gave to charity. That almost went out the door, so good catch there. And another Minnick would be an English brand, Triang Minnick or Minnick. So nice little operating crane here with all the little gears. It's missing the hook, but it would have had an operating battery so the spotlight worked on the back too. So pretty neat piece. When I was up in the upstairs washroom, I found this, which is, I would say this is probably 1960s era, made in England. It's made by a company called Lone Star, and it is an all metal, it's a die cast cap gun. Pretty neat piece in its original packaging, and I don't know if this thing's ever been out, but it is nice to have it in the original box. Item like that probably, and I'm talking Canadian funds, so if you hear me talking, this isn't Canadian. So I think at the store we'd probably get about $40 out of something like that. 49 Ford Club Coupe is complete, unbuilt. It's a 3-in-1 early AMT kit. Something like this would be well over $100. There's a lot of plastic model collectors, and guys love these early boxes, so that item should probably go for around $1.25. The Gamma truck here is incomplete. It was probably a cement mixer or a dump truck at one point, but it is in need of some renovation. So not going to bring a whole lot of money, but I might keep it around just in case I find another one that has the missing pieces and I can build one out of two. So this was kind of a surprise when I reached up and felt that it was a pistol, but this is just a CO2 powered BB gun. So I haven't checked to see if it's loaded or anything yet. It's, you know, you don't have to have any kind of license to own something like that. It's just an air gun, so not a big deal. Maybe worth about $100 Canadian with the original box. There were some other good finds that were down there. We came across some old man's glasses that are probably worth $10, $20 each. They're Bakelite, kind of interesting. More pottery, of course. Carved glass style perfume bottle that somebody's painted at some point and put stickers on, but not in the greatest shape. But if that was cleaned up, you know, could probably get a few, maybe $20 out of something like that. Carved glass usually goes for a little bit more. This skull, this bison skull, as you can see, it's kind of missing the forward part of the skull, but it is not just an as found recent skull. This is petrified. It's fossilized. I don't know how to date something like this because I don't have an analysis machine or anything like that to do it to carbon date it. But the fact that it's petrified tells me it's got to be pretty old. It could be, 1,000 years old, considering that the Plains indigenous peoples were in that area for thousands of years. It could be something from a hunt from a really long time ago. Very cool piece. Have to get that one priced and appraised properly. We got a nice old pharmacy scale here. This is a precise scale that it looks to be fairly complete with the weights in the drawers. Probably meant for mixing certain chemicals that she was using for her glazes, but good condition overall. Maybe in this condition, $150, $180. There's a straight razor, Bakelite handle, not broken. You always want to make sure that the blade isn't broken. This one is not broken. Original box, as well as an old hair cutter tool. If you're old enough, you might remember getting your hair cut with something like this, and they pull more than I think they cut. Scary little things. An old Rolls razor with the packaging, and this is I think what they call a Gillette, not a big boy, but a fat boy possibly. No, it's not a fat boy, it's a big boy. It's the gold-plated Gillette razor from the 30s. Now the plating's come off a little bit and it's not in the greatest shape, but it'll clean up. It's still about $40 or so. Had one of these in the box and it sold for over $400. So they can bring a lot of money. Just this one isn't in the greatest shape. And a human eyeball. Well, a model kit for a human eye. I love the packaging on that. Somebody might even just frame that and put it somewhere. There are people who like that kind of stuff. So that's maybe a $20 piece. We have lots of other things we haven't gone through yet. These are a couple of typewriters that I haven't taken out of the box. This is a microscope set from the 1950s. I thought this was kind of a neat piece. At some point, this was used at a fireman's ball. And if you're a firefighter and you want something interesting for your house, an old piece like this that was probably used would be great. You put a family photo or a picture right in the middle there. You can hang that right up on the wall and it's going to look fantastic. And these little guys were in the outside storage. Now, they seem to be folk art. And I almost wonder if somehow they're inspired by either folklore or legend, or maybe given to the artist herself, because this one is bearing pottery. Maybe that's supposed to be a representation of the artist. Either way, they're kind of cool, and they are folk art, and that guy's got a little bow and arrow. It's pretty neat. So we're going to get those cleaned up and have them out of the shop. And I still have several boxes of things to go through that I haven't even sorted yet. So there's everything from really old patterns. This is probably late 1800s or 1900s. boxes just chock full of things. So we're going to go through these boxes today at the shop and see what is inside and go through those. I did bring back this little purse. I haven't brought back much of the clothing yet, but I have a customer who's interested in this hand-tooled leather purse, and this is very much in fashion right now. So brought that back, brought a few little things back that I know I can sell right away. Probably the next trip I'm gonna bring back a whole bunch of the clothing. I'm gonna have to process it, clean it, get it ready, and then get the store ready to house that many clothes. But vintage clothing is a popular thing. There are people who buy it, who wear it. TV production companies, people who are reenacting the 1960s, 70s, 80s, even back to the 40s. There's all kinds of reasons why a person would want vintage clothing, but it is still popular. So I will have to bring a lot of that back and probably do like a vintage clothing shop upstairs for a little while. I did find some other jewelry though. This box, and I'll kind of zoom in there, was underneath the bed, and I can tell there's all sorts of different things in here. I've not tested any of them out to see if they're gold or diamonds or anything. I just literally brought it back, so you guys are seeing it kind of for the first time as I am. But I will sort through and sift through and see what I can find. We found a number of boxes full of jewelry. Some of it has been gold, some hasn't. So a little bit of research should tell us what we need to know. Thank you so much for watching the third installment of our house adventure. The next time I go out, it's going to be trying to get the furnace cleaned and get it running so we can actually get heat in the house. The reason we haven't tried turning on the furnace yet is that the ducts are probably all really filthy dirty and they were blocked. We've uncovered them, so we're gonna get them cleaned and get the ducts all cleaned out so we can get heat going. And then we can actually start thinking about doing some more work in the house, such as plaster repair, flooring, things like that. So yeah, so stay tuned for more. In terms of other bits for next week, there's the secret room that I had discovered just at the end of my day. Have not explored that thoroughly. There's two actually hidden rooms in the basement. Plus there's an attic we discovered that there's a hatch on the outside of the house, and we have to get to it with a ladder, but who knows what's up in the attic. So lots more to discover, lots more to explore. So tune in for part 4, which should be coming, I would say, probably in about a week or two's time. So stay tuned for that. I'm putting these videos out as they happen, so if there's a bit of a delay, it's because I'm out filming or out doing this stuff. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, make sure to do that. You can also check us out online at curiosityedmonton.ca. Best way to see what items we have for sale would be on Instagram or on Facebook under Curiosity Incorporated. And you can come and visit us in person, as we are a real store with all kinds of stuff all around us. So come and visit us. We are in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful night, and bye for now.